And joining me now with more on vaccines, Associate Dean for Research at the Israeli Faculty of Medicine of Bar-Ilan University and the Director of the Galilee Medical Center Research Institute, Professor Chaim Putterman. Professor, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
All right, now, how did we get through to phase 3 trials so quickly when every other vaccine in history to date has taken much longer?
That's an excellent question. And the reason I think that we've been able to be so successful is the tremendous amount of resources across the world that were poured into this development. The day after the sequence of the virus was elaborated and published, there were already multiple teams across the world that started to work on the virus. And these were countless number of companies, many hundreds and thousands of researchers all around the world. And of course, science is built upon previous success. Researchers and scientists were able to take all the accumulated experience and use it for this new virus and to bring that vaccine to market in record time. Potentially.
So can we, given all the resources invested into these vaccines, from Pfizer, from the IABR, or really any other organization, can we believe that they are safe?
We can't be conclusive on that point yet. And the reason is what Pfizer released to the press was preliminary results. It was just the pilot results. They didn't finish their study yet, but we do know in the tens of thousands of patients in which it was used for now, it was apparently safe. However, there are two important points to make. One, this is short-term safety. It's only 2 months worth of safety, even a little bit less than that. And second of all, this is a new type of vaccine. This would be the first vaccine ever used with this particular technology being demonstrated here on the screen, which is the mRNA vaccine. And we don't yet, unfortunately, have long-term safety data with that sort of vaccine.
So at what point does a research team conclude that they have sufficient long-term data?
Well, you can really never entirely be sure. There's phase 3. The phase 3 is the clinical trial in which patients are vaccinated compared to individuals that are not vaccinated. That is phase 3. And based upon that, there are regulatory decisions to allow that vaccine into the market. But there's also what we call phase 4, post-marketing analysis. There have been drugs that have went through a very rigorous regulatory process and approved to be marketed only to be withdrawn afterwards. In fact, one such drug was a vaccine against Lyme disease. So once you release it to the market, there's real-world experience that accumulates, and only after many, many tens of thousands of patients across the world, you could be sure that your vaccine is indeed safe for the long term.
All right, now, one of my last questions, how many people, given a 90% efficacy rate as Pfizer is advocating or is claiming, how many people in the population would need to take it for it to be effective?
We don't, assuming that is a correct number, assuming that it's really 90%, we would want the large majority of the population to be vaccinated. If only a third or half of the population is vaccinated, unfortunately, that will not be sufficient to stop transmission of the virus, and we will still have disease. Only again, when a large majority of our population can be safely vaccinated and will develop antibodies, only then we'll be able to stop the transmission of the virus, which has wreaked so much havoc over the last couple of months on Israel and on the world.
All right, Professor Chaim Putterman, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.